You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
Finally, Zach Thomas has entered the NFL Hall of Fame. Mr. Charlie Touche, it's been long overdue, and if anything, it got to a point where you kind of had to consider whether there was some kind of conspiracy theory against Zach Thomas not making the Hall of Fame. Now, that conspiracy theory probably would have been the Kadeem curse, given, I had the Zach Thomas jersey, which I'm wearing right now for those on YouTube. And it was like, you might need to get rid of that jersey if he's ever going to make the Hall of Fame. But 2023, the rightful choice was made. Zach Thomas has been announced as a Hall of Fame entrant in the 2023 class. And before I pass it over to you, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Go Time Dolphins. Turn on notifications. A lot is coming over the next few weeks and months. So, Mr. Charlie Touche, how are you?
I think if you ask 100 Dolphin fans that were born after the year 1983, if you ask 100 Dolphin fans born after the year of 1983, who was your favorite Dolphin? I'm going to say 80 of them are going to say Zach Thomas. I'm going to say 80 of them are going to say Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas has officially made it to the Hall of Fame. I don't care for the Hall of Fame no more. I'm just glad my dog made it. Last year, when he didn't make it last year, I said, I'm done. With all the TO stuff, and then they held him out on purpose, so he wasn't what was it? What do they call it? The first one?
First ballot.
First ballot, right? Nah, bro. I'm done with it. It's rigged now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad he got in because I know Zach really wanted to get in, and we knew it was a robbery every time he didn't. It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. I got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast. And this is a special Hall of Fame episode. That's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? We like, we got to go back in. We can't wait. You know what I'm saying? We got to go back in. It's the Hall of Fame episode for Zach Thomas, man. I'm going to be real with you, Kadeem. Last year was the first year that I actually watched the NFL Honors. Well, maybe, all right. I watched the NFL Honors last year in its entirety, and maybe I seen it, like pieces of it, a couple times previously, maybe once or twice. Like, it wasn't even, I'm not a NFL Honors watcher. I'm not going to tune in to NFL Honors. Maybe because the Dolphins never have anybody there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that might be the case. So, but last year, I was like, nah, man, I got a bad taste in my mouth about this. And I started seeing people who they being announced for the Hall of Fame last year. I'm like, where's Zach Thomas at? And when I seen him getting announced this year, the people coming out, I seen Rondé Barber go in. I'm like, dog, Zach Thomas got to go in now. Because if Rondé Barber make it and Zach don't make it this year, I don't know how I'm going to act, bro. I don't know, bro. So I remember growing up, Kadeem, I had I got two older brothers, one younger brother. My oldest brother had a friend, and he's a Dolphin fan. Shout out to Ernie. So Ernie was like, "Oh, I'm not a football fan. I'm a Dolphin fan. Says the same thing about the Heat. I'm not a basketball fan. I'm a Heat fan. And I didn't really know what that meant, but I know what it means now. And I am a football fan, and I am a Dolphin fan, but I can see how just being turned off by all things NFL can occur when you get the foolery like they kept Zach Thomas out of the Hall of Fame. But we here now. Day old news. We back. Let's run off some numbers. 17 interceptions, 7 Pro Bowl selections, 5 first-team All-Pro selections, 1,734 career tackles. Come on, man. What are we talking about? Did you see when Jimmy Johnson was at his house?
Yeah, and I think, I don't know Zach Thomas. I can't speak on behalf of him, but I have a feeling there was an element of it just wasn't going to happen because, like you said, it's one of those things where you enter the NFL regardless of round, first, second, undrafted, all that kind of stuff. But you kind of know roughly, especially in recent years, you kind of know what needs to happen for you to make the Hall of Fame. Touchdowns, wins, all that kind of stuff. And if you're Zach Thomas and you're looking at someone like Brian Urlacher, who's a great linebacker, don't get me wrong, but when your stats compare and are better to his, you're like, well, if he got in, but I didn't get in, then I'm not quite sure what more needs to happen. He can't go back and play. So it's like, I've done everything I can. I've seen my peers who I have, not to be cocky, but I've done better than, on the field, but I'm not making it in. I've been nominated, but I've not made it. Do you know what? You kind of just, I guess, you become at peace state, it's not going to make it. And like, when he walks up the stairs and it's like, it's an immediate breakdown. Because like, you know what? It's that I've been recognized for all my hard work. And, I never saw Zach Thomas play live. I got emotional watching it because it's like, it's that you obviously overcome with emotion, but it's like, you know what? Yeah, all that hard work, all those tackles, those interceptions, all those plays, perfect. Like it's like it's not just Dolphins fans who we saw in our last episode who can be quite up and down, hit and miss. Dolphins fans every single year were like, yo, this is getting stupid now. He has to make the Hall of Fame. And Zach Thomas said it as well, like you can stop vouching for me now. Like we've made it.
Yeah.
But it's like it kind of gets to a point where, and again, I can't speak on his behalf, but he's probably thinking, was I really that good? Or are Dolphin fans hyping me up? It can't just be me. When you've got former NFL quarterbacks, we don't mention their names. When you've got Brian Urlacher going on the Pat McAfee show saying it makes no sense that Zach isn't in the Hall of Fame. When you got OJ McDuffie, friend of the podcast, coming on Go Time Dolphins saying it makes no sense that Zach Thomas isn't in the Hall of Fame. Him walking up those stairs and just going, "Oh my day, this happened!" Like it's amazing, and he's humble as well. Because there have been others that've been like, "Yo, what took you so long? Like, what are we doing here?" So no, shout out to Zach Thomas. It's long overdue, but fully well deserved.
I remember it might have been last year, or it was either last year or the year before when he didn't get in, and he was like, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? It was like, if it happens, it happens. And I remember him being, or I don't want to say loud about it, but he was more on some, how come I'm not getting in? And I don't understand. Da, 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 da. And then within the past 2 years, he was on some, it is what it is, bro. Like I'm done basically. So just like you said, dang, was it just the Dolphin fans telling me I was this good, or am I tripping? And for those of us who haven't seen it, there's clips on social media going around. If you ever seen an episode of the NFL Network I think it's called Knock at the Door or something, like knock something about knocking.
And Canton, yeah.
Yeah, something about knocking on a door, Canton and Hall of Fame, something like that. And basically what it is the NFL knocks on the houses or pre-COVID, it would be like they'll be in hotel rooms for ceremonies and stuff, and they'll just knock on the door and they'll surprise the candidate like, yo, you officially made it to the Hall of Fame. During COVID, they switched it up, and I think it was for the better, where they would surprise people at their house. Like, so now, the family's in on it, and, these boys is millionaires. They got nice houses, families over, probably like a regular event, like, oh, every Saturday come over or something like that. So it's nothing if someone knocks on the door, and then that player will answer the door, and it'll be NFL Network at the door with all kind of cameras, and it'll just completely catch them off guard. Like, no, are you serious? So for Zach Thomas to, I don't want to say give up, but to just be like, man, all right, whatever. And for the past 2 years, and then it not happen, when he walked up the stairs and he looked, and you could see a grown man almost come to his knees, bro. Like, oh my goodness, are you serious? And he had to put down the things that were in his hand, and his family was in on it. Everybody was already upstairs, behind the cameras and stuff. So you imagine Zach Thomas walks upstairs and sees the camera, and knows his family's already up there, and the first thing he's probably thinking is, they got me, and I hope this isn't a joke, and are you serious? And then there's Jimmy Johnson up there too. And Jimmy Johnson, dang, that's crazy. Jimmy Johnson says, Zach Thomas, welcome to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, class of 2023. Bro, when you say you almost started getting teary-eyed, but I'm like, man, I'm not cutting onions in the kitchen. What's going on over here? It might be the pollen.
It's the eye sweat. No, sometimes your eyes start sweating. It's like, oh, that's just embarrassing. Oh,
that might have been what it is. It could have been the pollen. Who knows? What's the pollen count? You know what I'm saying? But who knows, bro? But yeah, man. Dang, bro, a dog made it. Shout out to OJ McDuffie, friend of the podcast. He was on this podcast and said a whole bunch of good stuff about Zach Thomas, and I'm sure we'll be sharing a lot of that stuff. But this is a W, Kadeem. Like, while social media is going crazy for Zach Thomas right now, I just got chills. I just got goosebumps. I'm like, man, this is a W. This is a real W, bro. I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yeah,
I said a part of it, like I had something to do with it, but I'm happy to I'm happy to be to witness it.
I think even when Zach Thomas is told by Jimmy Johnson, it's like, I'm pretty sure he starts crying as well, because it's when you're a part of it, when you see it happen, it's like you want someone like Zach Thomas to make the Hall of Fame, because you know and saw firsthand what he was doing. So to be able to give someone that recognition, which, let's be honest, Hall of Fames, whether people like him or not, like, it's, as a player, it must feel amazing to know that your legacy will always live on in there and stuff. And like you said yourself, he essentially resigned himself to not making it. And it's like, you know what? It is what it is. I done everything I could. Dolphins fans, vouch for me. Urlacher vouch for me. OJ McDuffie vouch for me. I think even Peyton Manning vouched for him. It's just like so many players were like, no, he deserves it. And it's like, it's one of the things where he knew that he got respect, I guess, from those, from his brothers, past and present. Him making it is amazing. Obviously, Dolphins fans have got one win now. They're now saying that Richmond Webb needs to be in the Hall of Fame, and I'm sure that bandwagon is going to start, and Dolphin fans are going to get behind it. But no, for Zach Thomas, for a newer fan like myself to just watch the highlights, watch the clips, and be like, yo, this guy's a dude. And it's remarkable, especially when you sit back and look at, where he was drafted, his size, and how he overcame everything to finally make the NFL Hall of Fame.
Bro, when Jimmy Johnson was trying to tell him, welcome to the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2023, he couldn't get it out all the way. You know what I'm saying? He started getting choked up, And I think that's when I started smelling the onions. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on over here? So yeah, he started getting choked out. I'm like, dang. And then I ain't gonna lie, this is what took me out. When Zach Thomas said, "Thanks, coach." Like, bro, he's always coach, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's forever gonna be coach. You know what I'm saying? That's it. This is it. You know what I'm saying? These boys grow up, played football since 4 years old. You know what I'm saying? Look up to their coaches, you would hope, and their name is coach forever. You know what I'm saying? So same thing in mixed. I was about to say mixed, but in combat sports or anything else. Matter of fact, I was in high school. Shout out to Coach Richardson.
There you go.
You see what I'm saying? So he was the wrestling coach, and I was tiny, bro, tiny dude. You know what I'm saying?
Still
He's like, yeah, hey, all right, hey. So he like, hey, bro, you should come out and wrestle. I like, bro. I weigh like $125, bro. I'm not wrestling nobody. He's like, no, that's not how it works. You wrestle people in your weight class. So I'm like, well, dang, that'll be pretty cool. You feel me? But I was too embarrassed about my size, and I wasn't wearing a singlet either. Like, that's not gonna happen. So I was like, nah, man, I ain't gonna do it. Pause. I should have did it because I love mixed martial arts now, and you have to know how to wrestle if you're gonna be competitive. So I should have did it, but I didn't do it. And my friend did it. Shout out the state champ, Elijah Bryce. Like, bro, dog won state champion. And when he won, ever since, we only call him champ. Hey, what's up, champ? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, champ. You know, that's it. His name is champ forever. So same thing with Coach Jimmy Johnson when he said, thanks, coach. Like, bro, I'm like, dang, that's what it is. And now it's Hall of Famer Zach Thomas forever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's a really good feeling. I thought it was super dope, bro. Yeah, man, what you got?
No, it's a campaign that was rightfully fought by Dolphins fans. And Zach Thomas obviously deserved what he earned. Very quickly, shout out to Dol Freaky, who was nominated and won the Miami Dolphins Fan of the Year, but unfortunately wasn't named the NFL Fan of the Year. Dol Freaky, if you're not aware of what she does on social media and in going to games and stuff like that, so much work both on and off the field. Always trying to help fans get a better experience at Hard Rock Stadium. Always reaching out to those on social media, just a really cool person. So, unfortunately for her, she wasn't named the NFL Fan of the Year, but like a lot of Dolphins fans have said on social media, she's our Fan of the Year. She should have won it. And yeah, just, once again, well done on, I guess, getting that far, because it's an amazing achievement to be, voted and nominated by your peers to be the Fan of the Year. So yeah, well done, Dol Freaky.
Zach Thomas, 5'11", listed at 5'11". He's not 5'11". Ain't no way. And I remember someone saying he's like 5'9". I ain't never seen him stand. I never stood side by side, but they say he's not 5'11", so he was undersized. He went to Texas Tech, Kadeem, for $1 million to get us out the hood, bro. Can you? No, hey, don't touch nothing.
No.
Hey, can you name 2 other current or former Miami Dolphins that went to Texas Tech University? Red Raiders.
Did Richmond Webb go to Texas Tech?
No, I don't think Richmond Webb went to Texas Tech.
Okay, I know I've seen him with like a kind of reddish burgundy.
I'll fact check, stat check while you over here trying to get us out the hood.
Well, yeah, we're staying in the hood, but the hood is where I live. That's where my people are. So it's fine. I'm fine staying in the hood because I can't think off the top of my head of any current or former Dolphin players that also went to Texas Tech.
So this is something that I just it's crazy to me. Hold on. I'm gonna see if Richmond Webb went to Texas Tech. Nah, he was Texas A&M.
Okay, but
so
yeah.
So it's crazy because when we drafted someone, I'm like, dang, this person went to Texas Tech. And so this is a couple you should get. I'm gonna give you one more try. Like you should really get like there's like 3 I'm gonna name, but you should get one of them. When we drafted this person, I'm like, dang, this person. This is fairly simple. This is a fairly easy question.
No, like it's again, you asked me the other day to name like 3 Bob Marley songs, and my mind went blank. Like sometimes my mind just goes blank, and right now,
I wanna love you and treat you right. I'm just saying, bro. You could have named all kind of Bob Marley songs.
Yes, we've established that. Same way I could have named a bunch of Texas Tech or a bunch of Miami Dolphins players. Like I'm gonna get them right eventually if I keep on guessing, but legit, I can't think of any off the top of my head. Seriously.
All right. So before we get out of here, I'm gonna give y'all the answer. The one you should have got at a minimum was Eric Ezukama.
No.
He was more recent. Jakeem Grant, Texas Tech. And Wes Welker, Texas Tech. So when we drafted Eric Ezukama, I'm like, dang, Wes Welker's on the team. Like they Texas Tech, you feel me? And then Jakeem Grant had me reminded, like, dang, everybody who comes from Texas Tech is undersized. Grant, Welker, and Zach Thomas. So yeah, man.
Okay, so in my defense, like I say in my defense, I have a Dolphin podcast. I know random Dolphin stuff. Legit couldn't tell you that Jakeem Grant went to Texas Tech. Same with Wes Welker. And off the top of my head, I can't remember what college Channing Tindall went to, let alone Eric Ezukama.
Channing Tindall? He went to Georgia.
Yeah.
That good defense, that good defense.
Yeah, again, like now you say it's like, oh yeah, of course he went Georgia, but I legit forgot where he went as well. So
who else? Cameron Good or Goudet? Remember him?
Yeah,
that was the last draft. Where do you? I think he went to UCLA.
Let's have a look. Cameron Good went to Cal. It looks like
Cal. Oh, I guess that's a sin. UCLA, Cal. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't like it. I knew it was a California school.
Yeah, went to Cal. Yeah,
we out of here.
We are out of here. Once again, make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a comment, do all the good stuff so you don't miss out on anything over the next few weeks and months.
Congratulations to Hall of Famer Zach Thomas, 5'4" already. Oopsie.